Most gear works great, right up until the battery dies, the plastic cracks, or one tiny part fails, and the whole thing is done. In this video, we're going the opposite direction. 100 survival tools built for the long haul. No AA or AAA batteries, no fragile gimmicks, and nothing you can't maintain with basic skills. Think steel you can sharpen, canvas you can stitch, wool you can brush, and simple hardware you can actually replace. We'll keep it practical, beginner-friendly, and focused on tools that earn a permanent spot in your pack, vehicle kit, or home setup, while staying safe and following local rules. Number 1. Full-tang carbon steel knife. A plain, fixed blade in high carbon steel can stay in service for decades because it's easy to resharpen and tough enough for real work. Full tang means the steel runs through the handle, so it isn't depending on a thin internal rod or glue alone. Pick a simple blade shape, solid handle pins, and a sheath that protects the edge and your hands. Wipe it dry, add a light film of oil, and keep it gently sharp so you never have to grind it back from zero. Number 2. Stainless fixed blade utility knife. If you live around humidity, salt air, or constant rain, stainless steel earns its keep because it resists rust with less babysitting. Go for a sturdy, no-nonsense design with a comfortable handle and a blade that's thick enough to feel stable, not razor-thin and fragile. Stainless can be a bit slower to sharpen, so a consistent touch-up routine matters. The point is a dependable cutter you can keep clean, safe, and ready without turning maintenance into a hobby. Number 3. Simple locking pocket knife. A pocket knife won't replace a fixed blade, but it's the tool you're most likely to have on you when something needs cutting right now. Favor proven patterns with a straightforward lock, minimal gimmicks, and parts you can clean without special tools. Check that the blade centers well and the lock feels solid. Then keep lint and grit out of the pivot. It's a small, everyday workhorse for common cutting tasks, and it lasts longest when you treat it like a tool, not a pry bar. Number 4. Flat diamond sharpening plate. Cutting tools only stay useful if you can maintain the edge, and a diamond plate is tough, compact, and doesn't wear into a hollow like some softer stones. A two-sided plate, coarse and fine, covers most needs without getting complicated. Keep it in a sleeve so the surface doesn't get damaged in your pack, and rinse it when it loads up with metal dust. With a little practice, it keeps knives, chisels, and small tools performing year after year. Number 5. Compact ceramic honing rod. Think of a honing rod as daily maintenance, not a full sharpening system. It refreshes a working edge before it gets truly dull. Ceramic is harder than steel and stays effective for a long time if you don't drop it. Choose one with a simple handle and a guard for your fingers. Keep it clean with a quick scrub when it gets dark and slick, and it'll save you time on heavier sharpening later. Number 6. Leather strop strip. A strop is the final polish tool that helps an edge feel clean and controlled without needing power tools or fancy gear. A thick strip of leather glued to wood is simple, stable, and lasts for years if you keep it dry. You can use it plain or with a little polishing compound, but the real win is consistency, not obsession. It's especially handy for pocket knives and small hand tools, where a smooth edge makes work safer and easier. Number 7. Food-safe protective oil. Rust prevention is boring, but it's what keeps steel tools looking the same after 10 winters. A small bottle of food-safe mineral oil is simple. You can use it on knives, carbon steel cookware, wood handles, and even leather if you're careful. Put it in a leak-proof dropper bottle so it's easy to apply and easy to carry. A thin wipe after cleaning beats heavy oiling once a year, and it keeps tools ready instead of stuck in maintenance mode. Number 8. Ferro Rod Fire Starter. For long-term reliability, a ferro rod is popular because it throws hot sparks without fuel, even in cold and wet conditions. Pick a thick rod that's comfortable to grip and a striker that isn't flimsy. Fire is powerful and risky, so practice only where it's allowed and safe, and follow local rules and guidance. Stored dry and used with basic care, one rod can last through thousands of strikes. Number 9. Flint and Steel Kit. Flint and steel is slower than a ferro rod, but the appeal is that the main parts can last for generations with almost no moving pieces. You're using a hard stone and high-carbon steel to create tiny hot sparks that catch on charred material, not on flashy, instant flame. Choose a steel striker that's thick and comfortable, plus real flint or chert that won't crumble. It's an old method that rewards patience and careful handling. Number 10. Metal Match-Safe Tube. Matches are consumable, but keeping them dry is the difference between backup fire and dead weight. A metal match safe with an O-ring is tough, pocket-friendly, and doubles as a tiny container for a few waxed tinder tabs or cotton balls. Avoid cheap plastic cases that crack when cold or get brittle in sunlight. It's small, simple insurance that still works when gear gets soaked, crushed, or forgotten at the bottom of a bag. Number 11. Small metal tinder tin. A plain tin is one of those low-tech helpers that ends up doing a dozen jobs. Storing dry tinder, holding a mini repair kit, protecting a compass, or keeping small screws from disappearing. Look for a snug lid and sturdy corners, not flimsy holiday cookie metal. If you label it and keep it stocked, you always know where your tiny essentials live. The best part is, you can repack it fast after use, so your kit stays consistent. Number 12. Pocket Magnifying Lens. A good magnifier is surprisingly useful because it's not tied to batteries and it doesn't care about weather. It helps you read fine print on maps and labels, inspect gear damage, and spot tiny splinters or burrs before they become problems. Some people also use it for solar ignition, but only in safe, controlled conditions and never during fire restrictions. Choose a lens with a protective case so it doesn't scratch, and it'll last basically forever. Number 13. Stainless cook pot with bail. A stainless pot with a sturdy handle is a core survival tool because it handles cooking, washing, and water heating without coatings that peel. Aim for a size that works for 1 to 2 people without being awkward to carry, and make sure the handle attachments are solid. Stainless can take heat, soot, and rough cleaning, and it's easy to sanitize. When you're building a kit that lasts, cookware that tolerates abuse is a smarter investment than anything delicate. Number 14. Tight-fitting metal lid. A lid sounds minor until you start trying to conserve heat, keep debris out of food, and speed up boiling. A simple metal lid that actually fits your pot reduces fuel use and keeps cooking more controlled. Flat lids can also act like a plate, a small tray, or a cover for mixing ingredients in bad weather. Avoid glass or fragile knobs that snap off the first time you pack it tight. It's a small piece that quietly improves everything else in your cook setup. Number 15. Stainless nesting cup. A nesting cup gives you a second vessel for hot drinks, small meals, and quick washing without carrying a full second pot. Stainless is durable, doesn't crack, and won't melt near heat like some plastics. Look for a cup that nests cleanly with your bottle or main pot and has a simple handle you can grab safely. The more your containers stack together without rattling, the easier it is to keep a kit organized for years. Number 16. Cast iron skillet. Cast iron lasts because it's thick, simple, and doesn't rely on coatings or delicate parts. It can handle open heat, a rough scrub, and years of use while actually improving as it builds seasoning. Choose a skillet with a smooth cooking surface and a handle that feels stable, and store it dry so rust doesn't get a head start. It's heavier than modern pans, but for home preparedness, it's a buy-once piece of cooking gear. Number 17. Cast iron Dutch oven. If the goal is food that feels normal during a long outage, a Dutch oven is a workhorse for stews, beans, bread, and slow cooking. It's heavy and not something most people carry on foot, but it's perfect for a vehicle kit, cabin, or home setup. Look for a tight lid and a solid handle that feels safe to lift. With basic care, dry storage, and light oil, it can outlive your entire kitchen. Number 18. Long-handled metal spoon. A solid spoon isn't glamorous, but it's one of the most used tools in any kit, and cheap ones bend or break at the worst moment. Go for a one-piece stainless spoon with a long handle so you can stir hot pots and reach the bottom of deeper containers safely. It also works as a basic measuring tool when you're not trying to be exact. The simple win is durability plus comfort, which matters when you're tired and trying to eat reliably. Number 19. Metal spatula and scraper. A sturdy spatula does more than flip food. It scrapes stuck bits, lifts lids, and helps keep cookware clean without harsh abrasives. Pick stainless steel with a strong handle connection, not a plastic grip that loosens with heat. A flat scraper edge is especially useful for cast iron and stainless pans. It's another small tool, big impact item that makes cooking less frustrating during emergencies. Number 20. Manual can opener. Shelf-stable food is only useful if you can open it without electricity, and a good manual opener is surprisingly easy to get wrong.
Choose an all-metal design with a strong cutting wheel and a gear that doesn't slip, and test it before you need it. The tiny military-style openers are light and nearly indestructible, but a larger opener is easier on your hands for regular use. Either way, this is one of the simplest upgrades for beginner prepping. Number 21. Hand crank grain mill. If you store grains long-term, a hand mill turns calories on a shelf into usable food without power. Look for cast iron or steel construction, adjustable settings, and parts that can be cleaned and replaced. Keep it dry, brush out flour dust after use, and store it where it won't rust. Even if you don't grind daily, having the option matters when store supplies are limited and you want real flexibility. Number 22. Stone mortar and pestle. A mortar and pestle is slow but incredibly dependable. No motors, no gears, just weight and friction. It crushes herbs, spices, and grains, and it can break down charcoal for simple cooking and filtering experiments when you're improvising. Choose a heavy stone set that won't tip and a pestle that fits your hand comfortably. It's also easy to clean and hard to damage, which is exactly what you want in a long-life tool. Number 23. Manual meat grinder. A hand crank grinder earns its space if you plan to process food at home, especially when power is unreliable. Cast iron models last a long time and can usually be taken apart for deep cleaning. Look for a solid clamp and standard plates so you can replace parts down the line. Beyond meat, it can handle some vegetables and helps you stretch stored foods into more meal options. The key is simple mechanics that you can maintain with basic care. Number 24. Stainless steel strainer. A strainer is a quiet multitasker, draining pasta, rinsing grains, washing produce, and even pre-straining dirty water before it goes into your main filter. Stainless doesn't mind heat and cleans easily,
so it stays sanitary over years of use.
Choose a mesh that's strong enough not to deform, and a rim that doesn't have sharp edges. It's not the cool item, but it makes everything from cooking to cleanup smoother and faster. Number 25. Food-grade water jerry can. Water storage is where durability meets discipline, and a tough jerry can makes that easy. Choose food-grade HDPE with a reliable cap and a shape that stacks well, then keep it out of direct sun to slow plastic aging. Label it clearly and keep it clean so you're not guessing what's inside later. The tool here isn't just the container, it's the habit of having water you can trust when the tap isn't an option. Number 26. Stainless steel canteen. A metal canteen is a long-life upgrade from thin disposable bottles because it handles heat, rough handling, and repeated cleaning. Wide mouths make it easier to scrub and to add purification tablets if you use them. Pick a simple cap that you can replace and avoid complicated flip mechanisms that break. Paired with a cup, it becomes a compact hydration and hot drink system that doesn't depend on AA or AAA batteries. Number 27. Vacuum-insulated steel bottle. Insulation isn't a luxury when temperatures swing hard, because keeping water from freezing or staying too hot can be a real safety issue. A quality stainless vacuum bottle is durable, but the weak points are usually the lid seals and fancy push buttons. Choose a simple screw-top lid and keep a spare gasket if the model uses one. It's one of those buy it once, use it constantly items that improves daily life and emergency readiness at the same time. Number 28. Glass canning jars. Glass jars are durable in the long run because they don't absorb smells, they don't react with most foods, and you can see what's inside instantly. The jars last for years if you protect them from impact, while the lids are the part you replace as needed. They're great for dry storage, leftovers, fermentation, and organizing small gear in a clean way. When your supplies are easy to inventory, you waste less and rotate food more naturally. Number 29. Stainless steel funnel. A funnel is the difference between clean storage and a sticky mess when you're transferring water, grains, or oil. Stainless holds up to heat, doesn't crack, and cleans easily, so it's more reliable than thin plastic. Look for a wide mouth and a tip that fits common bottle openings, plus a handle or hook for control. It's a tiny tool, but it protects your water storage routine and keeps contamination and waste down. Number 30. Ceramic filter element. For water treatment, ceramic elements last because you can scrub the surface and restore flow instead of throwing the filter away. Choose a reputable element designed for drinking water and handle it gently because ceramics can crack if dropped. Pair it with safe storage so clean water stays clean after filtering. Filters don't solve every water risk, so follow reliable public health guidance for disinfection when the source is questionable. Number 31. Gravity filtration container. Pumping water gets old fast, and a gravity setup lets time do the work while you handle other tasks. A basic system can be as simple as sturdy food-grade containers and a long-life filter element with parts you can clean and replace. What matters is a clear dirty side and clean side routine so you don't mix them by accident. When water is steady and low effort, beginners are more likely to keep good habits during stressful days. Number 32. Metal scoop and ladle. Scoops make storage practical. They let you portion rice, beans, flour, or pet food without dipping hands into containers. Stainless or aluminum scoops last a long time and don't snap like cheap plastic. A ladle is also useful for transferring hot liquids safely and reducing spills during cooking.
These are small, durable pieces that help you stay organized, which is a huge part of preparedness, even though it sounds unexciting.
Number 33. Galvanized steel bucket. A tough bucket is one of the most useful survival tools because it handles hauling, washing, cleanup, and basic chores that keep life moving. Galvanized steel is durable, but it's best for carrying water and doing work, not for cooking acidic foods. Look for a strong handle and reinforced rim so it doesn't deform under load. In a prolonged outage, simple hauling capacity becomes a real advantage. Number 34. Canvas collapsible bucket. A canvas bucket packs flat, which makes it great for vehicles or small storage spaces where a rigid bucket is awkward. Heavy canvas can be repaired with stitching, and it can be re-waxed to improve water resistance as it ages. Choose one with reinforced seams and a sturdy handle attachment. It's also handy for basic safety and cleanup at home because it can be kept ready without taking up much space. Number 35. Wool blanket. Wool is a classic for a reason. It insulates even when damp, resists sparks better than most synthetics, and doesn't fall apart after a few hard seasons. Look for a dense weave and high wool content, and don't stress about cosmetic wear. Air it out, brush it, and wash it gently when needed, and it keeps performing. It's a shelter piece, a bedding layer, and a warmth layer in one durable item. Number 36. Wool beanie and gloves. Head and hand warmth is a big comfort and safety factor, and wool stays useful when conditions are messy. A simple wool beanie and gloves don't melt near heat sources the way many synthetics can, and they're easy to dry and maintain. Choose solid stitching and a fit you can wear for hours without irritation. Small clothing items feel minor, but they're the difference between doing work steadily and getting cold and clumsy. Number 37. Wool socks and liners. Foot care is one of the most practical beginner prep topics because sore feet make everything harder. Wool socks manage moisture and keep warmth even when damp, and they tend to last longer than cheap cotton blends. Having a thinner liner sock can reduce friction and extend the life of the outer sock. Rotate pairs, dry them fully, and mend small holes early, and you'll keep a reliable system instead of a pile of worn-out socks.
Number 38. Waxed canvas tarp.
A heavy canvas tarp lasts because you can repair it, re-wax it, and keep using it instead of replacing shredded plastic every season. The fabric is quieter in wind, handles abrasion better, and doesn't tear into ribbons as easily. Look for reinforced corners and strong tie points, then store it dry to prevent mildew. It's not ultra-light, but for durability-focused prepping, home, vehicle, or base camp, it's hard to beat. Number 39. Canvas ground cloth. A dedicated ground cloth protects your tarp, your sleeping area, and your gear from punctures and moisture, which extends the life of everything else. Canvas is repairable, and it doesn't get brittle the way some plastics do in cold weather. Choose a size that matches your shelter style and fold it consistently so wear spreads evenly. When your base layer stays intact, you waste less time patching and more time handling real priorities. Number 40. Steel tent stakes. Stakes are a small part of shelter that often fail first, especially the thin, bendy ones. Steel stakes are heavier but far more forgiving. You can hammer them into hard ground and straighten them if they take a hit. Look for simple shapes with strong heads and no fragile hooks. Even if you mostly prep for home emergencies, good stakes matter for tarps, windbreaks, and temporary setups during repairs or evacuations. Number 41. Braided polyester rope.
Rope is only useful if it survives weather, and braided polyester handles sun and moisture better than many other common cords. Choose a diameter you can grip with gloves and that holds knots without slipping.
Store it neatly so it doesn't turn into a tangled mess when you need it fast. Good rope is a long-term tool for shelters, hauling, and keeping things stable in high wind. Number 42. Tarred bank line. Bank line is a thinner cord that's perfect for lashing, repairs, and tying smaller loads without the bulk of full rope. The tar coating helps it resist water and adds grip, so knots tend to hold well. Keep it on a simple spool and protect it from extreme heat that could soften the tar. It's one of those prep items that disappears into the background until you suddenly need strong, reliable cord for 10 different jobs. Number 43. Steel carabiners. Carabiners make gear management faster. Clipping, hanging, bundling, and securing items without constantly tying knots. Steel is heavier than aluminium, but very tough and less likely to deform if it gets jammed or loaded incorrectly. Use climbing-rated hardware only for safety-critical tasks, and keep cheaper utility carabiners for organizing. The key is choosing simple gate designs that won't snag and that still work when dirty or cold. Number 44. Sewing awl. When fabric repairs need to hold under tension, packs, belts, heavy canvas, an awl makes strong stitching possible without a machine. A good sewing awl uses thick thread and creates consistent holes, which helps repairs last instead of ripping out. Keep spare thread and needles with it, and store it so the point doesn't poke through your kit. This is one of the best learn once, use forever tools for maintaining durable gear. Number 45. Sail needles and waxed thread. Even with an awl, you'll want a basic hand sewing kit built for tough materials. Sail needles are strong, and waxed thread grips and resists moisture better than standard sewing thread. Add a simple thimble or palm guard so you can push needles safely through thick layers. The value here is keeping your tarp, clothing, and bags working for years instead of treating gear as disposable.
Number 46. Grommet and rivet setter. Tie-outs and straps fail where the stress is, and a grommet/rivet kit lets you rebuild those weak points instead of tossing the whole item. Brass or stainless grommets resist rust, and solid rivets can restore strength to belts, packs, and canvas. Keep the setter tools and a small assortment of sizes in a labeled container. A beginner-friendly prep mindset is repair first, and this kit makes that practical. Number 47. Heavy-duty scissors. A strong pair of scissors handles cloth, tape, packaging, and bandage materials quickly and safely. Look for full metal construction and blades that meet cleanly without gaps. Keep them dry, oil the pivot occasionally, and avoid using them as a screwdriver or pry tool. Scissors sound basic, but in real-life repair situations they're faster and safer than tearing material or fighting with a knife for every cut. Number 48. Stainless safety pins. Safety pins are simple, cheap, and surprisingly valuable because they solve problems fast. Fastening torn fabric, securing bandages, making quick gear connections, and organizing small items. Stainless resists rust and stays usable after being stored for a long time. Keep a range of sizes in a tiny tin so they don't scatter. They're not flashy, but they're the kind of micro tool that keeps a situation from turning into a bigger problem. Number 49. Leather work gloves. Gloves protect your hands from cuts, abrasion, blisters, and splinters, which keeps you working longer with fewer mistakes. Good leather gloves last because you can condition them, patch them, and still get a solid grip in rough conditions. Look for strong seams, a snug fit, and cuffs that stay in place. This is one of those tools that doesn't look like a tool until you've tried doing cleanup or repair work without it. Number 50. Safety goggles.
Eye protection is non-negotiable when you're sawing, hammering, chiseling, or dealing with debris, and the best goggles are the ones you actually wear. Choose a comfortable seal, clear lenses, and a strap that doesn't pinch. Store them in a case so they don't scratch up and become annoying to use. When beginners prep, they often focus on cool gear and skip safety. Goggles are a simple upgrade that prevents long-term damage. Number 51. Passive ear protection. Hearing loss is permanent, and you don't need explosions for noise to be a problem. Cleanup work and loud tools can add up fast. Passive earmuffs or quality earplugs don't depend on electronics and store easily. Keep them near your main tools so you don't forget them when work starts. The goal is staying effective for the whole job, not pushing through noise until you're exhausted and careless. Number 52. Reusable respirator mask. Dust, smoke, and fine debris are common during storms, fires, and home repairs, and breathing protection is about long-term health, not drama. A reusable half-mask respirator with replaceable filters is durable, cost-effective, and works without power. Store the mask and filters sealed so they stay clean, and follow the manufacturer's fit guidance. It's a practical preparedness item that helps you do messy work without paying for it later. Number 53. Steel pry bar. A pry bar is leverage in a simple, nearly indestructible form, and it prevents you from wrecking knives or hurting yourself improvising. Choose solid steel with useful ends, a flat chisel end for lifting, and a curved end for pulling nails. Keep it lightly oiled to prevent rust, and it will last basically forever. In home emergencies, a pry bar is also just a safer way to move stuck things than forcing them by hand. Number 54. Claw hammer. A reliable hammer is part repair tool, part problem solver because it drives fasteners, pulls nails, and helps with basic construction and cleanup. Look for a head that's securely attached and a handle you can control even with gloves. Hickory handles are classic because they absorb shock and can be replaced. If you only buy one hammer for preparedness, get a comfortable general-purpose claw hammer and keep it where you can reach it quickly. Number 55. Ball-peen hammer. When the job shifts from wood to metal, setting rivets, tapping parts into alignment, shaping soft metal, a ball-peen hammer is the right tool. It's simple steel with no fragile pieces, and it's easy to maintain. Pick a weight you can swing accurately without fatigue, and keep the face free of mushroomed edges. Paired with punches and chisels, this hammer makes small repairs feel controlled instead of improvised. Number 56. Small sledgehammer. A small sledge is for stubborn tasks, driving stakes into hard ground, seating posts, and striking splitting wedges safely. It's heavy, but it's also simple and durable, especially with a quality handle and a secure head. Store it dry and check the head for looseness occasionally. This is a home and vehicle tool more than a backpack tool, but it's one of the fastest ways to add serious capability to a basic prep setup. Number 57. Cold chisel set. Cold chisels let you cut and chip metal or masonry when a saw can't reach or when you need precise removal. Choose hardened steel chisels with clear size markings and keep the striking ends dressed so they don't flare out. Always pair chisels with eye protection because tiny chips can fly unpredictably. In preparedness terms, chisels are about access and repair, removing damaged hardware and clearing broken material safely. Number 58.
Punch and awl set. Punches and awls are the little tools that keep you from forcing parts together the wrong way. A center punch helps start holes cleanly. Drift punches help align holes. And an awl marks and starts holes in leather or wood.
Choose simple steel tools with comfortable grips and keep them organized so tips don't get damaged. They're cheap, last a long time, and make repairs smoother and more accurate. Number 59. Metal file set. Files are slow but incredibly useful because they shape and smooth metal without power and without much risk. A basic set with a coarse file, a fine file, and a small needle file covers most prep tasks, from deburring sharp edges to tuning tool handles. Keep files dry and don't let them bang together because the teeth can dull. When something feels almost right, a file is often the tool that makes it right. Number 60. Hacksaw frame. A hacksaw is one of the simplest ways to cut metal, plastic, and even some wood in tight places, and the frame itself can last for decades. Pick a sturdy frame that holds tension well and uses common blades you can replace anywhere. Keep spare blades in an oiled sleeve so they don't rust in storage. In an emergency repair mindset, a hacksaw turns "I can't cut that" into "I can fix that." Number 61. Bow saw. For processing wood efficiently, a bow saw is hard to beat because it's fast, safer than swinging an axe for many people, and blades are easy to replace. A solid frame with a standard blade size means you're not locked into one brand forever. Keep the blade covered and dry when stored. Whether it's storm cleanup or regular property maintenance, a bow saw is a long-term tool that saves energy and reduces injury risk. Number 62. Folding saw. A folding saw is the pack-friendly version of the bow saw. Smaller, easy to carry, and still very effective on branches and small logs. Choose one with a reliable lock and a blade pattern you can replace years from now. Keep it clean and dry, and don't force it through dirty wood that's full of grit. The point isn't brute strength. It's controlled cutting with a tool that stays useful long after cheaper saws loosen and wobble. Number 63. Hatchet with wooden handle. A hatchet is convenient for light work, but the long-term durability depends on choosing a quality head and a handle you can replace. Look for a simple head shape, good steel, and a handle that fits your grip without hot spots. Store it with a sheath to protect both the edge and your gear. It's most valuable when you use it carefully for its intended purpose and avoid the risky swing harder mindset. Number 64. Full-size axe. A full-size axe belongs more to home and vehicle prepping than lightweight kits, but it's hard to replace when you need to clear storm debris or do heavy property work. Choose a reputable maker, a straight handle you can control, and a head that holds an edge without chipping. Keep it clean, dry, and protected in storage so rust doesn't start. Treated with respect, a good axe is a true lifetime tool. Number 65. Steel splitting wedges. Wedges make wood processing more controlled because you're using managed force instead of pushing a blade into tough grain. Solid steel wedges last a very long time, and they're simple to maintain. Keep them dry and free of deep damage at the striking end. They're most practical for home setups where you have space and time. In a durability-focused kit, wedges are a smart way to extend what your axes and hammers can do. Number 66. Axe sharpening puck. Axes and hatchets stay safer when they're sharp because a dull edge makes you push harder and lose control. A simple 2-grit puck is compact, doesn't need electricity,
and works on a variety of edges. Keep it clean and store it where it won't crack or chip. Sharpening isn't about making an axe razor-like. It's about restoring a clean, working edge that bites predictably. Number 67. Steel shovel. A shovel is disaster work in one tool, clearing snow, moving debris, digging drainage, and handling messy cleanup. Steel heads with strong sockets last longer than thin stamped blades, and wooden handles can be replaced if they break.
Keep it dry to prevent rust, and don't store it buried under damp gear. Even in urban settings, a shovel is one of the most practical preparedness tools because it solves real problems quickly. Number 68. Pick mattock. When the ground is rocky, packed, or full of roots, a shovel alone can feel useless, and that's where a pick mattock shines. It has a pick side for breaking hard material and an adze side for scraping and shaping. The head is heavy steel with very little to fail, and handles are often replaceable. For long-term home preparedness, it's one of the best tools for serious digging and rough terrain work. Number 69. Garden hoe. A hoe isn't just for gardening. It's a simple tool for clearing surface growth, shaping soil, and managing drainage around a property. The durability comes from a solid steel head and a straight handle that's easy to replace. Keep it clean and dry, and don't let the edge get rolled over from striking rocks. For beginners building food resilience, hand tools like this matter because they work without fuel, power, or complex maintenance. Number 70. Bypass pruning shears. Clean cuts keep plants healthier, and good bypass pruners last because you can sharpen blades and replace springs instead of tossing the whole tool. Look for a comfortable grip, strong pivot hardware, and blades that close precisely. Keep the pivot lightly oiled and wipe sap off after use so it doesn't gum up. In a preparedness context, pruners help with gardens, clearing brush, and harvesting. Quiet, practical work that adds up over time. Number 71. Folding pruning saw. Pruning saws handle thicker branches than shears, and they do it with less strain and more control than chopping. A quality folding saw has a reliable lock, aggressive teeth, and a blade you can replace when it finally wears out. Keep it clean, dry, and stored with the teeth protected. For storm cleanup or garden maintenance, this tool is often safer and more efficient than using heavier tools for the same job. Number 72. Post-hole digger. A post-hole digger is the kind of boring tool that becomes priceless when you need to set posts or build a stable structure without power equipment. Look for strong hinge hardware, comfortable handles, and jaws that align cleanly. Keep it dry and oil the pivot occasionally so it doesn't seize up. It's a long-term property tool, and it supports the basic prep goal of keeping your space functional and secure. Number 73. Manual hand drill brace. A brace and bit drills holes without electricity and gives you great control, which is ideal for careful repairs and woodworking. Choose a brace with a smooth crank, a solid chuck, and a comfortable top pad. Store it with common bits in a roll so you can grab the set and start working immediately. In long outages, hand drilling is slower, but it's dependable, quiet, and very hard to break. Number 74. Egg beater hand drill. For lighter tasks, the classic egg beater drill is compact, easy to use, and simple to maintain. Good ones have metal gears, a sturdy handle, and a chuck that grips standard bits. A drop of oil now and then keeps it smooth, and keeping it clean prevents grit from chewing the gears. It's a great beginner tool because it makes repairs possible even when the power is out. Number 75. Standard drill bit index.
Bits are the consumable part of drilling, so focus on common sizes you can replace anywhere rather than exotic specialty sets. High-speed steel bits cover most wood and metal tasks if you use them with reasonable pressure and keep them from rusting. Store them in a labeled index so you don't waste time hunting for the right size. A small, organized bit set turns a hand drill into a real repair system instead of a frustrating toy. Number 76. Wood chisels. Chisels make clean repairs and precise fitting possible, trimming a door, shaping a notch, squaring a hole, without power tools. Quality chisels have tough steel and handles that can take light mallet work. Keep the edge protected and sharpened, and don't pry with them, because that's how tips chip. In preparedness, chisels are about making materials fit properly, which makes structures stronger and safer. Number 77. Hand plane. A hand plane is a quiet, durable way to flatten and smooth wood, which matters when you're repairing furniture, fitting boards, or making something stable from rough material. Look for a solid body, an adjustable blade you can sharpen, and a comfortable grip. Keep it clean and lightly oiled to prevent rust. It's not the first tool beginners buy, but it's a strong, long-term tool once you start doing real repairs. Number 78. Adjustable wrench. Adjustable wrenches are the one tool, many sizes option, and a good one can last a lifetime if the adjustment screw stays smooth and tight. Choose a reputable brand, a jaw that doesn't wobble, and a handle length that gives you control without over-torquing. Keep it clean so grit doesn't wear the screw. It's ideal for quick plumbing and equipment fixes, especially when you don't have the exact wrench size on hand. Number 79. Combination wrench set. For repeated work, nothing beats the fit and grip of the correct wrench size, and that's why a simple set of combination wrenches is a long-term prep staple. Focus on common metric and SAE sizes that match your household and vehicle hardware. Store them in a roll or rack so missing sizes stand out immediately. With basic care, dry storage, and occasional oil, this set becomes the backbone of practical repairs. Number 80. Full-handle screwdrivers. Stripped screws are a headache, and cheap multi-bits often wobble or use soft tips that round off fast. A small set of dedicated screwdrivers with hardened tips gives you better control and lasts longer.
Choose comfortable handles, common sizes, and a storage rack so you can grab the right tool quickly. Keep tips clean and don't use screwdrivers as chisels. Treated properly, they'll stay sharp and true for years. Number 81. Lineman's pliers. Lineman's pliers are a heavy-duty grip and cut tool that handles wire, staples, nails, and stubborn fasteners. Quality pliers have hardened cutting edges and tight pivots that don't loosen after a few tough jobs. Keep the joint lightly oiled and wipe off moisture to prevent rust. In an emergency repair situation, these pliers let you grab, twist, pull, and cut with confidence instead of improvising with weak tools. Number 82. Needle nose pliers. When you need reach and precision, small clips, tight spaces, delicate bends, needle nose pliers are the right tool. Look for aligned jaws and a finish that resists corrosion. Keep them clean, and don't use the tip to pry hard, because that's how they bend. They're especially useful for careful mechanical fixes where fingers can't safely fit. Number 83. Locking pliers. Locking pliers act like a temporary third hand. They clamp, hold, and grip things you can't keep steady by yourself. A solid pair lasts because the adjustment screw and lock mechanism
are simple and serviceable. Keep the pivot and threads lightly oiled, and avoid using them as a hammer. In a long outage or a messy repair, locking pliers reduce frustration and help you work more safely and accurately. Number 84. Wire brush. Rust and grime kill tools faster than hard use, and a wire brush is the simplest way to clean metal surfaces before oiling or repainting. Choose a brush with a solid handle and stiff bristles that won't shed everywhere. Keep it dry so it doesn't rust into a useless lump. It's also useful for cleaning files, scrubbing cook gear, and preparing surfaces so repairs actually hold instead of peeling off. Number 85. Assorted nuts, bolts, and washers. A small fastener kit is like having spare hardware vocabulary when something loosens, breaks, or goes missing. Focus on common sizes used in your home and gear, and include washers because they prevent loosening and spread load. Store everything in a divided container and label it clearly. The point is speed. Instead of a broken handle ending a project, you replace the fastener and keep moving. Number 86. Steel tie wire. Tie wire is the quick fix connector for situations where you need something held in place right now. Securing a loose handle, bundling items, hanging a light, or stabilizing a temporary repair. Choose a gauge that's easy to twist but strong enough to hold tension. Keep it coiled neatly and snip clean ends so you're not leaving sharp points. Used thoughtfully, wire can keep gear functional until you can do a proper repair. Number 87. Stainless hose clamps. Hose clamps are one of the most underrated repair tools because they create strong, adjustable compression without special skills. An all-stainless assortment resists rust in storage and works on plumbing hoses, tool handles, and temporary patches on some gear. Keep a few sizes so you're not forcing the wrong clamp to fit. They're simple, durable, and often the fastest way to stop a leak or tighten a connection. Number 88. Mechanical come-along winch. A come-along gives you controlled pulling power for moving heavy objects or tensioning lines during repairs. Choose a model with a solid ratchet mechanism, a rated cable or strap, and a clear load rating you can trust. Inspect it regularly and use it carefully. For vehicle and home preparedness, it's a powerful tool that doesn't depend on electricity. Number 89. Manual siphon pump. Moving liquids without power is a practical need, and a manual siphon pump makes it cleaner and more controlled than improvised methods.
Choose a pump with durable hoses and fittings you can replace, and keep it dedicated to one type of liquid so you don't contaminate drinking supplies. Rinse and dry it before storage to prevent odors and buildup. It's one of those tools that turns a messy task into a routine you can repeat safely. Number 90. Baseplate compass. Navigation tools last when they're simple, and a clear baseplate compass paired with paper maps is as reliable as it gets. Look for easy-to-read markings, a stable needle, and a baseplate that works with a ruler and map scales. Store it away from strong magnets and keep it in a pouch so it doesn't get scratched. Even if you usually rely on phones, this is a long-term backup that keeps you oriented when screens fail. Number 91. Lensatic compass. A lensatic compass is more rugged and often easier for precise bearings, especially in rough conditions where delicate gear gets smashed. Choose a quality model with firm hinges and clear sighting lines, not a cheap imitation that drifts. Learn the basics calmly before you ever need it under pressure. Used with a map, it supports smarter route choices and helps you avoid turning a small problem into a real emergency.
Number 92. Waterproof map case. Paper maps are only useful if they survive weather, and a waterproof map case keeps them readable and intact. Choose a case with strong seams, a trustworthy closure, and enough room for notes and a small pencil. Keep it packed with the maps you actually need for your area, not just random extras. When navigation is organized, you make better decisions faster, which is a big deal for beginners under stress. Number 93. Laminated local maps. Laminated maps last longer in real conditions because they resist rain, sweat, and rough handling, and you can mark them with erasable pens or grease pencils. Focus on your local area first: evacuation routes, alternate roads, water sources, and key landmarks. Store a spare set in a safe place in case one gets lost.
This is a preparedness tool that pays off even on normal days because it makes you more aware of your surroundings.
Number 94. Signal mirror. A signal mirror is simple, lightweight, and effective for long-distance signaling when you need attention and you're out of voice range. Glass mirrors are bright and durable if protected, and polished metal mirrors are tougher if you expect rough handling. Keep it in a case so it doesn't scratch, and learn how to aim it safely without staring into reflected sunlight. It's a classic tool because it works with 0 batteries and lasts as long as you don't break it. Number 95. Peeless whistle. A peeless whistle is loud, works when wet, and doesn't jam with dirt the way some ball whistles can. Choose one made from durable plastic or metal, attach it to your kit, and keep it accessible, not buried in a pocket. The real value is saving your voice and signaling consistently when you need help. It's a small safety tool that stays useful for years and weighs almost nothing. Number 96. Mechanical wind-up watch. Timekeeping matters for schedules and staying organized during long disruptions, and a mechanical watch avoids the whole battery dependency problem. Choose a simple, durable model with clear markings and a strap you can replace. Keep it clean and service it occasionally if you plan to rely on it for years. It's not a survival weapon. It's a steady little piece of order when everything else feels unpredictable. Number 97. Waterproof notebook and pencil. A pencil writes in cold, heat, and rain, and a waterproof notebook keeps your notes readable when paper would turn to mush. Use it for inventory lists, repair notes, contact info, map coordinates, and simple checklists that reduce stress. Keep it with your navigation items so it's always in the same place. In preparedness, memory is unreliable under pressure, so written notes become a quiet, durable tool. Number 98. Trauma shears.
Trauma shears are designed to cut clothing, tape, and bandage material quickly without needing fine knife work near skin. Pick stainless steel shears with a strong pivot and blunt tips, and keep them clean and dry. Don't use them for cutting wire or metal because that ruins the edge. They're a practical first aid tool that stays useful for years and makes emergency care safer and more controlled. Number 99. Stainless tweezers. Tweezers handle the tiny problems that turn into big annoyances. Splinters, thorns, and small debris that your fingers can't grab cleanly. Choose a stainless pair with precise tips that meet properly, and keep them in a small case so they don't bend. Clean them after use so they stay hygienic in storage. It's a small item, but it's the kind of tool you'll be grateful to have when you need it. Number 100. ABC Fire Extinguisher. A fire extinguisher isn't about drama. It's about stopping a small accident before it becomes a life-changing disaster. Choose an ABC-rated extinguisher for general home use. Mount it where you can reach it fast, and check the gauge regularly.
Follow the manufacturer's service schedule so it stays reliable over the years. This is one of the most important durability-focused tools because it protects everything else you own.